संजू वर्मा, अर्थशास्त्री और बीजेपी की राष्ट्रीय प्रवक्ता, कहती है एसएआईड ने 2023 में अपने नियंत्रण में 40 अरब डॉलर रखे थे और यह संगठन 30 से अधिक देशों में सक्रिय था। एसएआईड, जिसे इसी नाम से जाना जाता है, ट्रंप प्रशासन द्वारा समाप्त कर दिया गया और सही भी था। एसएआईड प्रथम दृष्टया आपको और मुझे यह विश्वास दिलाना चाहता था कि यह माननीय कार्यों में संलग्न था, जैसे कि तालिबान शासन के तहत अफगान लड़कियों को शिक्षा देना, अफ्रीका में एचआईव क्लिनिक स्थापित करना या वहां बार बार होने वाले इबोला प्रकोपों से निपटने के लिए त्वरित प्रतिक्रिया दल तैयार करना।
Hello friends, USAID in 2023 this particular organization had $40 billion under its command with a presence in more than 130 countries. USAID or USAID as it is called has been dismantled and rightfully so by the Trump dispensation. USAID prima facie would like you and me to believe that it was engaged in humanitarian work, trying to give education to Afghani girls under a draconian Talibani regime, or to set up HIV clinics in Africa, or to facilitate rapid response teams in Africa to deal with frequent Ebola outbreaks. But no, that's not the case. USAID has used the huge amount of money at its disposal to bring about disruptions and regime changes in various countries, right from Sri Lanka to Armenia to Kyrgyzstan and more recently in Bangladesh. The more important thing is that USAID has an NGO called Internews Network. Now, Internews Network, in turn, has been running a program called Factshala. Factshala's Indian partner is another firm called Data Leads, founded by a man called Syed Nazakat, and having on its payrolls the likes of Surbhi Pandit Nangia, a hardcore deep state radicalized asset. So the first point is USAID, Internews Network, Factshala, Data Leads. All these organizations have been peddling anti-India narrative, have been peddling falsehoods to not just bring down the Modi government, but to tarnish the very image of India. Don't forget, at the height of the COVID pandemic in 2021, at the height of the second wave, when India was engaged in a global outreach under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, giving vaccinations and providing vaccines to almost every nook and corner of the world. Internews Network, USAID, Factshala, Data Leads, they were peddling falsehoods about the bona fides of India's vaccine program. This is the same set of organizations that have also never acknowledged Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. They have the audacity to call that as India-occupied Kashmir. These are the same bunch of organizations that have actually questioned abrogation of Article 370, despite the Supreme Court upholding the same. So the limited point is, this is not just a network of NGOs as you and me would like to believe. This is a network with deep state sponsorship, which for the longest time wanted to dismantle and disrupt the Modi dispensation, despite it being one of the most popularly elected governments for the third time in a row. And that is why we should be concerned. Also, don't forget that Internews Network, USAID, Factshala, Data Leads finally were working in very close conjunction with another firm called Sambhavna Institute of Public Policy and Kumud Bhushan Education Trust. Both Kumud Bhushan Education Trust and Sambhavna Institute of Public Policy, no prizes for guessing, have been founded and are run for all practical purposes by one man called Prashant Bhushan. If you scroll through Prashant Bhushan's timeline on X or Twitter, you will find Prashant Bhushan has been peddling falsehoods for the longest time. Again, he was at the forefront of peddling lies against India's vaccination drive. He has been at the forefront of condemning abrogation of Article 370. He has been at the forefront of the false Pegasus story. He has been at the forefront of peddling lies pertaining to the Rafale deal, which was engineered by the Modi government, and again, a deal that was upheld by India's apex court, the Supreme Court. So the limited point is, that Prashant Bhushan and all these other organizations like Internews Network and Factshala and Data Leads that I spoke of, all these are part of the larger network of George Soros's Open Society Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, Ford Foundation, and Omidyar Network and USAID, because the likes of Sambhavna Institute of Public Policy and Kumud Bhushan Education Trust have been getting funding from all these organizations, including George Soros, Rockefeller, Ford Foundation, so on and so forth. And you will be surprised to know that Sambhavna Institute of Public Policy has been conducting training workshops from Palampur in Himachal Pradesh. And guess who are the people who are very closely associated with this outfit of Prashant Bhushan's? It is people like, again, radicalized people who have been, tarnishing India's image and who have been peddling falsehoods about the Modi dispensation. These are people like Ravish Kumar, Akash Banerjee, Sophia Ashraf, Sandeep Chaudhary, Yogendra Yadav, so on and so forth. Also, very, very interesting. It gets even more interesting. There is another outfit called Global Knowledge Institute, GKI, co-founded by Sam Pitroda, who is also the head of Indian Overseas Congress, was very close to Rahul Gandhi's father, Rajiv Gandhi, and was also an advisor to the Manmohan Singh dispensation, continues to be a very close confidant of the Gandhi-Nehru dynasty. And GKI, Global Knowledge Institute, GKI has been another firm that has been at the epicenter of receiving funds from Rockefeller Foundation, Ford Foundation, Open Society Foundation belonging to George Soros and the Omidyar Network and USAID. And guess who are the co-founders of GKI run by Sam Pitroda? The co-founders are Nina Fedorov, another Rockefeller Foundation / Deep State asset, and another lady called Sarah Farley, again, a Rockefeller Foundation / Deep State asset. So the limited point I'm making is, if you look at the entire umbrella of organizations, from Rockefeller and Omidyar Network to Open Society Foundation belonging to George Soros, to Data Leads, to Factshala, to USAID, to Sambhavna Institute of Public Policy, there is a clear thread which links all these anti-Modi and anti-India organizations, and it is clear that there was a coordinated and concerted and a deliberate attempt by all these organizations who were getting huge amount of money from the likes of USAID to bring disruptions and peddle lies in the last 10 to 11 years